Let me add my welcome to each of you. Thanks for making the time to be with us this evening, and more importantly, thanks for being those who have partnered with NNU. I want to begin tonight by thinking back a ways to the years 1971 or 1972. Now, I know from the smirk on a few faces in here that you're thinking, dude, I wasn't even alive in 1971 or 72. And the emotion that I'm kind of having well up inside me at this moment is something between envy and anger. So I'll just kind of work through that on my own up here. But I was a middle school student in 1971-72, attending Central Junior High in Quincy, Massachusetts. One of our field trips that year was to MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, with the opportunity to view, as I recall, what was described as the latest and greatest mainframe computer. It was massive. It took up multiple floors on the building we visited. And it was impressive. As I recall, it was actually able to simultaneously perform multiple mathematical calculations. I still recall looking at that computer, occupying multiple floors of that building, and wondering how the future of the world would be impacted by such a marvelous device. Now it's 47 or 48 years later. Let me share some facts about technology in our 21st century. In 2015, it was estimated that there were 2 billion computers in the world. There are approximately 300 million cell phones in the United States today, and around the globe, an estimated 3.3 billion cell phones. And I have it on good authority that the power of each of our smartphones is getting close to moving beyond the power of that multi-floor mainframe computer I saw as a junior high student. The result of all this technology is a world in which we are connected in ways we never even imagined 30 or 40 years ago. Much of this connection now is through that phenomena that we know as social media. So I took a few minutes to dig up some quick facts in that area too. On Facebook, there are 2.41 billion monthly active accounts, and of those, 1.5 billion are active daily users. Some of you are here, I've heard about you. Of those 2.4 billion active users, 83 are fake profiles. 83 million are fake profiles. And of those using Facebook, 61% are over the age of 35. And then there's Instagram, 1 billion plus monthly active users, over 500 million daily active users. Since its launch in 2010, 50 billion photos have been shared. And today, over 100 million photos and videos are uploaded every day. And of those users, 63% are under the age of 35. And that's to say nothing of Twitter and Snapchat and whatever the latest app is. Perhaps a fitting metaphor for all of this interconnectedness is a tapestry, a metaphor that I used in several different settings this past spring. Tapestries, a commingling of independent threads that vary by length and color and texture and relationship. You can see this for yourselves this evening. You walked in past these tapestries. You have them on your tables as centerpieces. They're here at the front, and from time to time, you'll see them on the screen. And as you can see, interconnectedness can be a beautiful thing. But in our current incredibly interconnected world, I'd like to suggest to you that these connections alone are hollow. Something is lacking. Let's go back to the tapestry metaphor. In a tapestry, if you were to remove a thread or a group of threads, then the tapestry is incomplete. The image could not be as readily understood. For example, in the tapestry that's been on the screen, if we remove those threads that are red, then the image becomes different immediately. The whole story changes because it's the relationships among the elements that produces the beauty and the clarity and the intent. Thus, it is more than simply being interconnected. There's a need for relationships, and it is the relationships between and among the different threads that bring beauty and completeness. Relationships, it seems to me, true relationships, are the key that give life to our interconnectedness. According to an article posted to Psychology Today's website on October 5th of 2018, and I quote, "We are plagued by a loneliness epidemic," close quote. The article goes on to indicate that the rate of loneliness in the United States has doubled in the last 50 years, without regard to geographic location, gender, race, or ethnicity. And then the article says, this leads to growing concerns related to mental and physical well-being. And then the article poses a poignant question. In a time in which it seems that we are more connected than ever before, how could this be possible? A different report, written in 2016 as the result of a study by 2 University of Oregon professors, independently comments, and I quote, "Social media use continues to grow and is especially prevalent among young adults. It is surprising, then, that in spite of this enhanced interconnectivity, young adults may be lonelier than other age groups, and that the current generation may be the loneliest ever." So I'd suggest that interconnectedness alone is not adequate. What we need is both connectedness and relationship. So let me make my point by again referring to our tapestry. Tapestries are intentional. They don't just naturally happen on their own. They're carefully planned and meticulously crafted. Thus, it is the intentional interconnectedness and relationship of the threads to each other that create the beauty of the finished piece. The social media of our era promotes interconnectedness and suggests that beauty will arise as a result of your connections. But as I've just referenced, connectedness in isolation is lacking and may even be contributing to some of our societal problems. Accumulating Facebook friends apparently is not delivering beauty and wholeness. In fact, we hear frequently that social media brings ugliness as opposed to beauty. But let me suggest that a world filled with connected people who also understand and foster their relationships is colorful. It's more rewarding to those participating, and it's a place that is more kind and more human than would otherwise be the case. I believe the same to be true of good partnerships. For effective partnerships are not simply haphazard connections of separate parties. Rather, effective partnerships, like beautiful tapestries, must include both a level of connectedness and relationship. And I'd go so far as to suggest that the best partnerships even include an element of interdependence. And like tapestries, partnerships are intentional. It's the combination of the individual partners that brings out their collective beauty as they work together in complementary ways to yield desired results. Typically, the results are better than any single member of the partnership could have achieved on their own. You are attending this dinner this evening because you already understand this. You are individuals who are in relationship with NNU. You have partnered with Northwest Nazarene University. You've not only connected with NNU and her students, but you've developed a relationship by making investments of time and treasure that have demonstrated your partnership with all that NNU is seeking to accomplish in fulfilling our mission. And by doing so, each of you has created a degree of interdependence between yourself, this university, each other, and NNU's students and graduates. Several decades ago, a particular Idaho couple connected with NNU. Thereafter, that couple not only understood the concept of connectedness, but also the need for relationship and partnership and interdependence. And they then made intentional decisions to invest. Those investments are impacting NNU in profound ways years later. Neither Howard nor Mary Conrad of Idaho's Magic Valley were alumni of NNU, but they believed in the high-quality education that NNU was delivering in the context of character and faith formation, as they became first connected to NNU through their local church. The Conrads connected in a deeper way as they became convinced of the value of an NNU education when their daughter Julie attended and graduated from NNU. Entrusting their daughter to NNU was the Conrads' first act of interdependent relationship. And this was followed by more connection and a partnership when Howard became one of the founding members of the Northwest Nazarene University Foundation Board of Directors. I wonder whether the Conrads ever anticipated, as they grew their relationship with NNU, that their daughter Julie would one day be elected to serve as a member of the NNU Board of Trustees and a member of the NNU Foundation Board of Directors. There she is, front row, left, in the deep red sweater. It was in the early 1990s when Howard and Mary Conrad chose to use an unanticipated infusion of income to purchase a life insurance policy and name Northwest Nazarene University as the beneficiary. That choice was followed by a decision to also leave a substantial portion of their estate to NNU. Those choices, occurring over the course of many years, together resulted in the largest gift NNU has received in its 106-year history, just over $18.5 million. $3 million of the gift has been allocated to NNU's endowment fund and is providing scholarships for deserving students. Another $3 million of the gift was set aside to assist the university in funding the startup costs for expansion or initiation of new programs, with the net revenue of those programs being used first to pay back the fund, thereby providing a perpetual fund for expansion and growth of programs to serve the ever-changing educational landscape. And then $10 million of the gift was identified to serve as the lead gift for a new student commons building, which we will be dedicating in just a few weeks. The Howard and Mary Conrad Student Commons will have a significant impact on NNU and her students for decades to come. This 48,000 square foot facility is not quite completed, but let me take you inside the construction fencing for a moment and provide you with some images of what this fabulous building includes. There's student dining facilities where students will gather multiple times every day to nourish not only their physical bodies, but to also nourish their souls via their interactions with each other as they develop not only connections, but deep relationships that will last a lifetime. There will be a suite of offices in which will be located NNU Student Life, Student Government Association, and the Office of University Mission and Ministry. This area will be named the Pullman Center for Student Life and Calling to honor a major gift from Ralph and Darlis Pullman, who were always interested in furthering the growth and potential of NNU students as they partnered with NNU. On the northwest corner is a large meeting room that will provide space for a variety of gatherings, meetings, and meals, and that will soon be the new location for Time Out, our student-led Wednesday evening worship service. This room will be named the Steve and Chelsea Walden Hall in honor of a major gift made by the Waldens, who have been partnering with NNU for years. I might add that the Waldens have also had several of their family members attend NNU and now have a daughter working at NNU. On the second floor is a conference room that will accommodate 35 or 40 people and that will be used by both student and university groups for a variety of purposes. This space will be named the Dave and Patty Hills Conference Room to honor the Hills' faithful generosity to NNU and this project, as well as their long-standing relationship and partnership with the university. Also on the second floor is a new welcome center where prospective students and their families will come to begin their exploration of all that NNU has to offer. And we should not forget that the cornerstone of this new building bears the phrase, "Education flourishes in community," a reference to one of NNU's 4 core values. And it's only fitting because this building is all about community. The presence of not simply connections, but relationships. Each of these individuals and all of those of you who are in the room tonight who have participated in funding the Student Commons Project clearly understood the significance of being both interconnected and in relationship. And you demonstrated that by partnering with NNU to make this new facility a reality. We hope that you'll plan now to join us for the dedication of the Conrad Student Commons, which will occur on Friday, November 8 at 3 p.m. Go ahead, I'm giving you permission. Pull out your smartphone, put it in the calendar. Otherwise, you'll forget. It will be a grand celebration and will allow you to walk through the completed building. As further evidence of the interconnectedness of our world, our ability to occupy the Conrad Student Commons will virtually empty our current student center. Because this building was well built and is structurally sound, we will be repurposing the current student center for several other uses. We will relocate our undergraduate admissions office to the southeast section of the building to keep our admissions staff in close proximity to the new Welcome Center in the new Student Commons. We'll allocate another portion of the building to house the registrar's office, the financial aid office, and the student accounts office, so that these student services will be located within easy access to our students who will be frequently in the new student commons. But the largest portion of this building, comprising a little over 20,000 square feet, will be renovated for NNU's College of Nursing. This space will about double the space that the College of Nursing now occupies and will allow us to further expand our nursing programs to address the continuing need for nursing professionals throughout Idaho and the Northwest. And I would add that with my advancing age, I'm more interested in having more healthcare professionals. Some of you may recall that we have already secured a $3 million leadership gift for the repurposing of this building from Jerry and Muriel Cavan. The Cavans are both alums of NNU and have stayed both connected with and in relationship with the university for years. Jerry Cavan was instrumental in the creation of the university's athletic association many years ago, and along with Howard Conrad, was one of those founding members of the NNU Foundation Board of Directors. Shortly before Jerry's passing earlier this year, Jerry and Muriel decided that they desired to take their relationship with NNU to another level by partnering in the repurposing of the current student center so that NNU nursing could be expanded, providing enhanced services to our student body and to this entire valley. With tonight's announcement of the use of the renovated student center and commitment of the project's lead gift, we're also announcing that we're now seeking the balance of the funds necessary for this renovation project. This project will require additional major gifts from individuals as well as from foundations and corporations in order to meet our fundraising goal so that we may begin the project as quickly as possible in order to expand the number of NNU nursing students and graduates as soon as we can. Interconnectedness, relationships, interdependency, and partnerships. Each of you is here tonight because you have demonstrated that you desire to be not only connected to NNU, but also in relationship with NNU. You've shown your desire to partner with NNU in transforming her students, but not only her students, but also those around the world who will be positively impacted by NNU's graduates. So as I scan this room tonight, I wonder, who might be here tonight who's already sensing an inclination to partner with NNU in new and deeper ways? And I wonder which of the NNU students who served us and who provided us with music this evening will become future partners of the university as a result of having observed your connectedness and partnership and generosity, underscoring in that way that we truly are interconnected and interdependent. Well, as I conclude, allow me one more time to return to our tapestry metaphor. The tapestries all around us this evening are, by definition, created through use of multiple threads. These tapestries derive their beauty and their function from a host of threads of different lengths, different colors, and different textures, but all interconnected and all interdependent and in relationship with one another, together forming one whole, a finished product that is grander than any of the threads individually and that has greater usefulness than even a handful of the threads would have had on their own. So as I look at you who are here this evening, I see a similar tapestry, a collection of varying talents, dissimilar abilities, different capacities, unique passions and callings, but all interconnected and all in interdependent relationship as you all partner with NNU and with each other. This tapestry that we call NNU continues to expand and develop and get stronger. So to each of you, I offer our heartfelt gratitude for contributing your part, for it takes all of us contributing to complete the tapestry. NNU is better because of you. And if I may be so bold as to suggest it, I really believe that you are better because of NNU. Over the past couple of years, you've likely heard me reference that NNU is here for good. I believe that to the core of my being. But in light of the truth of the partnerships displayed here this night, let me suggest also that you are evidence that we are partnering for good. May it ever be so as we strengthen our current partnerships and ever develop new partnerships. Thank you.